Well, hello there, folks. I do hope you're all well. Now, many of you know me by now. If there's betting people amongst you and you were placing a bet today on the first subject I was going to cover, you'd have certainly won money. Because you know, without a shadow of a doubt, the first person that's going to pass my lips today is a gentleman called Michael Parkinson. What a sad, sad day. Heard this morning that Sir Michael has now passed. Just a great shame. What a colossus of a broadcaster and journalist for that matter. Brilliant at what he did. Brought me through my childhood, was I think 71 when he first did Parkinson. I'd have been about 10 at that time. And I watched it forever. Pined for it when it was off our screens and watched it again when it came back. A brilliant, brilliant broadcaster. Great journalist. Wonderful presenter, talk show host, just great. An all-round good friend. He was friendly with a couple of people I looked up to, and I know he was a very, very, very loyal friend. Proud Yorkshireman, extremely dour, yet great fun at the same time, which is really weird. You don't get dour and great fun in the same sentence, but he was. Just brilliant at what he did, and it's just such a sad loss. For the last couple of years, as I've seen him, he's not looked himself. I mean, he's older, obviously. He's looked very, very frail. But they say it's only a short illness he's had before he died. I do hope he didn't suffer. I really liked the fella. I really did. Read his book a few years ago. He's very heavily influenced by his dad. He was always very heavily influenced by his dad. Always wanted to make his dad proud, which I respected and liked. Think his dad was proud of him, loved what he did. But although he made thousands of pounds and was one of the BBC's biggest ever stars, his dad was never quite satisfied, because I think his dad's aim in life for Michael was that he would play cricket one day for Yorkshire. The fact that he never did disappointed his dad ever so slightly, and his dad never got over that, and neither did Parky, because that's what Parky wanted to do as well. But anyway, just great at what he did. You know, I'll miss him hugely. He's been off our screens for many years now, and I've missed him hugely. He was great. There's been a lot of great TV interviews over the years. He was great. Russell Hart in his own way, great. Wogan, fantastic. Graham Norton now, absolutely brilliant. Maybe Ross, not quite as much. But there's been lots of greats. But none of them were better than Parky. Parky was the best of the best. If you get a chance, folks, to see any old interviews, now, it'll be the older folks amongst you, the more my age, that'll remember these people. I'll tell you two you can have a look for. They'll be in the BBC archives. In fact, I think they've both been on BBC4 in the last 6 months or so. He did a set of interviews with Peter Ustinov. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And a set with a great friend of mine, not a friend of mine, favourite of mine, David Niven. Again, absolutely brilliant. He's done loads of brilliant interviews, just loads. I mean, you know, every week he'd do a brilliant interview, but some weeks were better than others. Some weeks the superstar came to the fore and shown what a superstar they were, and they were brilliant. But he was just fantastic, Parky. He really, really, really was. I heard today, let me put the bins on, because I heard it on the radio when they were announcing his death, or on the TV. He's interviewed all the greats, Ali, Clooney, Madonna, and I thought, yeah, they're all great at what they do, but I'd rather have heard Ali, Best and Wayne. Not Rooney. John Wayne! He never mentions the John Wayne one much. I don't think he thought it went great, or I don't know that he really liked him. Don't think he liked some of his views, but I've always loved John Wayne. I mean, I'm a bit of a saddo, I suppose. But they'd have been three interviews I'd have wanted to do. Ali, Best and Wayne, I'd have loved those three. He was always a great friend of George Best's, always a great friend. When George was ever in the doldrums or on a downer or people were against him, he always had an arm around him by Parky. He'd retreat to Parky's and often stay there for a day or two. The family loved him. They loved Bestie. They knew he was a broken guy at much of the time, very fragile, but they knew deep down he was a wonderful young human being, which he was. But no, I love Parky. I really did. What else was I going to say? There was another couple of things I wrote. Yeah, if you get the chance to watch him, if you're watching old interviews, watch things like the one with Lauren Bacall or Ingrid Bergman. They were two women that when he was younger he fancied, he really liked them, and he loved having them on his show. They were great interviews. But as I say, the probably favourites of mine were Best, Billy Connolly and Muhammad Ali. All great interviews. I mean, I know when he did his last ever appearance, what was it with? Who was his last guest on his last show? Peter Kay, Michael Caine, David Beckham. Maybe he was out of place there. David Attenborough and Billy Connolly. I mean, what a roster of guests for your last ever show. It just gives you an idea of how well he was thought and how high his star was. You know, just a brilliant, brilliant broadcaster, and he'll be sadly missed. As I say, short illness, they say. I do hope it was. I do hope he never suffered. And I do hope his family are fine, and I hope they're coping well. Great loss. Rest in peace, Sir Michael. We've done what we've done now. We've done in the past. Les Patterson. You knew what I mean. Who played Les Patterson? Barry Humphries. Paul O'Grady. There's been a few gone the last few months, and a few have gone since we started this channel, but I'll wager nobody was great at what they did than old Parky. As I say, sadly missed. What a Colossus he was.